Zidane Danny, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab. So today's episode recently released for My Hero Academia, and of course it was Gold Tips Imperial, which I actually did think that we were actually going to get a little bit more in this episode than we actually did, but not too much more. Basically, there's holy crap, what is with my voice? There are a few moments that aren't really too important in the next episode that are pretty quick, and even though it's like 4 pages, it's really, really short. But the point is that it's shorter than I thought it would be. This episode is still within volume 19, and it is this much within the volume. This is basically the prep work for the next episode, the battle between Deku and Gentle Criminal. There isn't too much that is different between the episode and the manga. Primarily, it's just a bit different to see the whole stuff being animated and stuff, and really it's not too much of a thing. There is one thing that I do want to bring forward, is the fact that in the manga and the anime, when Togata sticks his butt out the bush, it's a slightly different line, but it's still basically the same meaning. It's just that in English, we will often say something like, nice full moon we're having. We will actually refer to showing the butt as being a full moon. But in Japan, it's the peach thing. It's more common to use that. And that's pretty much it as far as differences. Not too much of a big deal. It's honestly still funny, all of the different lines about Eri possibly being Togata's kid, which he never responds to, which just makes it funnier. But that's pretty much it. I do wish that things had been a little bit more simple, but there is actually one thing that I do want to bring up, and that is something that I didn't realize immediately, and that is they actually do say the name of what the freaking play is pretty early in this episode rather than later in volume 20. I'll talk more about it as we come closer, but there's actually something that happens before that I didn't realize until just now. In the anime, they actually go a little bit more in depth, realizing Deku is like, oh, Ryoko. And that's pretty much it. As for the play, I do actually want to bring back to that. The play's Romeo and Juliet and the Return of the King of the Prisoner King of Azkaban. Yeah. What the hell? The name. Oh my gosh. There is a lot of stuff that just happened in that. Honestly, this play, I really hope that they make like a full anime-only episode for it, because it's just the most ridiculous thing ever. And literally, the only thing that it gets later down the line is one page where they show off the end of the play, and that's it. And it's the chapter right after the whole song in the manga, and it's just kind of sad that they didn't get as much love as they could have. I don't know if they're going to actually change it, but honestly, it's just the most ridiculous concept. And I'm surprised that he's getting away with it. Because we all know that Romeo and Juliet, it's not that big of a deal. Having Romeo and Juliet in the title is not too hard. But Return of the Prisoner King of Azkaban, that's taking from Lord of the Rings and frickin' Harry Potter, both of which are still very popular series that probably could get him sued. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I don't think that they're actually going to be able to go into the full thing, but the whole name convention thing is just ridiculous, and I really hope that they actually get to delve more into it. But, yeah. Other than that, like I said, pretty much the entire episode is pretty much the exact simple stuff. Just a slight better thing with the whole animation, like the Principal Nezu's conversation with the police is a little bit more explained and stuff. And a little bit more and stuff, and seeing how things are actually going to work with the moving Aoyama around. That's a little bit more clear. Stuff like that. And there was another one that I'm also forgetting. Right, the actual plan that Gentle Criminal sets out. They do actually have a frame for every single spot that Gentle explains, but it did feel a little bit better in the actual anime in comparison to the actual manga. This one's a little bit more clear than other things, but yeah. It's actually something that's kind of interesting to actually point out, is that because of the fact that they're pointing out the entire plan and how they're going to accomplish it, you'd think, oh, they're not gonna accomplish their plan. And spoiler alert, they're not. The whole Deku versus Gentle is going to be really interesting. I do want to actually bring up one last thing before I conclude this video. As always, I do mention a brief bit about the next episode. Now, this next episode is Deku versus Gentle Criminal, which honestly is a lot. This is the first half. The rest of it is in Volume 20, which I did not bring out today because today's episode isn't about it. There are about 4 pages between Deku, between the beginning of the episode or the beginning of the chapter and Deku meeting Gentle Criminal. No big deal. But the fact of the matter is that they only really show a little bit of the episode. Basically, the reveal of what Gentle Criminal and a little bit of the information when Deku is starting out. Now, there's a whole bunch of stuff that happens during this time, and honestly, it's kind of insane how much is going on. Usually, though, the point in the end of the starting is about the halfway point. But considering the fact that this is the battle, I'm actually leaning towards that they may actually go a lot further. Like I said, this is the first half of the fight. Now, obviously, they aren't. If they decided to, they could put the entire battle in one episode. But that feels like it would be rushing it. Because this battle is intense. It's a long battle that is Deku versus Gentle. Most likely, if they were to end it about halfway, which is reasonable, they would stop it at the point where La Brava says that she'll have to use her quirk. So, which is a reasonable thing, considering the fact that this is insane. But another thing to actually point out is that there are not that many episodes left of this season. I'm not exactly certain on how many episodes there are going to be, but I would like to just think that they're going to at least go to the selection, to who is the top 10 heroes, which is something that happens about halfway through volume, well, no, wait, it's the last bit of volume 20, and goes through about half of volume 21, meaning that they actually do have to rush things a little bit here. Primarily, all that's left is the battle with Gentle, which could be one episode, it could be multiple. The festival, which honestly, even though it had a lot of pages in the manga, it really doesn't need as many because of the fact that it is a lot of the singing. And actually making it faster in the anime would actually benefit it. We'll have to wait and see exactly what they decide to do, but it honestly wouldn't surprise me if they actually did extend it a bit. If they shortened it a bit, basically putting it into one episode for this. With and the battle with with Dobby being the last episode. There's a few other things that are going to happen between now and then, but honestly, there's not many episodes left. And however they decide to end it, I'm honestly really excited to see how they do. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening soon, and honestly, I'm really excited, and I think that a lot of you guys will be too, because volumes 21 through 26 are really awesome, and I really can't wait to see how people react to them. But anyways, guys, let me know what you thought of this episode down in the comments below. And of course, if you have any theories about My Hero Academia, Miraculous, or anything else I talk about on this channel, make sure to put them down in the comments below and use the hashtag theory review so that they can show up in my next theory review video, which the most recent one should have happened already, even though I haven't recorded it. So stay tuned for that. But anyways, guys, I've been Electro Ninja. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. But on.